Welcome. The battle between Governor Abbott and President Biden continues. We're grateful for your presence here today. Let's dive into the latest updates. Don't forget to like and subscribe to support our cause and help us spread the word.
A group of Republican governors over the weekend at the border.
Yeah, Abbott's showing them an area in Eagle Pass, Texas, where a standoff is ongoing between the White House and the state.
Mills Hayes is in Eagle Pass, Texas. Mills, what is the situation there today?
Hey, Don and Scott. Well, these Republican governors that came down here to the border to see the crisis for themselves, and it comes amid growing frustrations from people who live on the border. I spoke to a lot of people who live here, and they tell me that this situation is getting out of control.
It's just more open. Whoever wants to come, they come.
Diane Schroeder and Rob Jump live on the Rio Grande River, ground zero for the U.S. border crisis. They watch in satisfaction as workers build up this border wall.
I think Abbott helped shut it down for us a lot.
Governor Greg Abbott says Texas is the first and only state to build their own wall.
Half of the governors of the United States have joined with Texas in our cause to make sure states can do everything possible to secure our border.
Over a dozen Republican governors getting a firsthand look at the border Sunday.
We need the president to step up and do his job, first of all, in denying illegal immigrants from crossing the border and then detaining him, of which he has done neither.
In December, Shelby Park in Eagle Pass, Texas was seeing thousands of migrants a day. Texas took control of the park from Border Patrol agents in January. Now, only a couple people per day are crossing.
Those that smuggled in illegal immigrants. If you see an area that is boxed off by a container that has razor wire on the container or on the ground or on the fence, those are areas that illegal immigrants were once able to cross that are now unable to cross. And the reason why we've been able to achieve that level of decrease in illegal crossings is only because of great teamwork in agencies across the state of Texas. First, an update about some numbers from the Texas Department of Public Safety. They have made over 39,000 criminal arrests. They have apprehended more than 480,000 illegal migrants. They've deterred more than 95,000 illegal entries and engaged in more than 4,300 bailouts. They have filed more than 19,000 charges for smuggling. Those charges for smuggling now face a new consequence because of members of the legislature who stand behind me. They passed a bill that I signed into law that increases the mandatory minimum time behind bars for smugglers to 10 years. If you smuggle somebody into or through and across the state of Texas illegally, you'll be spending a long time behind bars. In addition to what the Texas Department of Public Safety has been doing, we've also had unprecedented success by the Texas National Guard. They have more than 1 million encounters with illegal immigrants. They have turned back more than 90,000 people who were trying to get into the country illegally. In addition to what they're doing through other agencies and in part through what the National Guard themselves are doing, there have been more than 160 miles altogether of barriers placed up, not counting the border wall. They include the razor wire, fencing, anti-climb barriers, these Connex boxes, and the buoys that are in the river. Those together add up to more than 160 miles of barriers that have been placed up. Also, Texas is the first and only state in the history of the United States of America to build our own border wall. If you look at the amount of wall already constructed and the amount of wall that is going to be under construction, Texas will have built more of the Trump border wall than even Trump built in the state of Texas.
The reason the border is not secure is Donald Trump and his MAGA Republican friends.
President Biden putting the blame for the migrant crisis squarely on Donald Trump, and at the same time urging lawmakers to support a bipartisan border bill with tens of billions of dollars in aid to allies.
It's time for Republicans in the Congress to show a little courage, to show a little spine, to make it clear to the American people that you work for them.
Since the text was released Sunday, many Republicans have said they can't support it.
This bill is a terrible bill.
House Speaker Mike Johnson called the bill dead on arrival. He did leave room for debate, but demanded significant changes.
I am always open to work with the Senate, and I hope that we can, but they've got to send us a product that will actually solve the problem.
The border bill would create more detention capacity, fast-track asylum claims, and create a mandatory shutdown of the border when there's an average of 5,000 encounters per day. It comes as the House debates impeaching Homeland Security Secretary Alejandro Mayorkas. He's accused of not enforcing immigration law and lying to Congress about the border being secure.
Let's be clear about two things. One is, I've attempted that. I have provided 8 letters to President Biden and his administration asking for certain actions. I've received exactly 0 response. One of those letters I handed to him personally, to his hand. It was a single page. It was not complicated, and explained exactly what needed to be done in order to secure the border. At that same meeting, I handed the exact same letter to Secretary Mayorkas, who said that he would work with us, and of course he has not. So the Biden administration has done nothing to work with us despite me reaching out on 8 different times. That said, there is a key factor that we insist on. And that is the beginning of our discussions starts with the enforcement of the rule of law. There are laws on the books as we speak right now that don't need to be added, that don't need to be changed, that do 2 things. It denies illegal entry into the United States of America, and it requires the president, the executive branch, to detain them if they do get in illegally. Those 2 laws are not being followed. Negotiations begin once the Biden administration starts enforcing the law. Yes, we are working on expansion plans to expand the successful operations that we've seen in certain locations that deter illegal immigration. And some of those will be announced after they occur. Others will be announced beforehand. But just know this, and that is the National Guard is relentless. On a daily basis, they're adding more razor wire barrier, more anti-climb barrier, more other ways to repel people from trying to enter illegally. And I got to emphasize this, and that is in doing so, there's actually been a dramatic reduction in drownings in the river by more than 50%. If people are enticed to cross a treacherous river, they will cross that river and some will lose their lives. One thing we know for a fact, right behind you is a bridge that people are walking across as we speak. No one drowns on a bridge. No one gets cut by razor wire on a bridge. If people tried to enter the country through the pathway created by Congress as the pathway into the country, lives would be saved.
The Biden administration right now is waiting the decision whether to pursue legal action regarding this Operation Terror Team Shelby Park. When the Biden administration pursues the legal action, would that affect any decision made by this?
So I actually hope the Biden administration takes legal action about this area, because I want to make one thing perfectly clear. One reason why this area is occupied by the state of Texas is to prevent the Biden administration from any further violation of federal law on this Texas land. They are violating 2 laws required by Congress. Congress requires the federal government to deny illegal entry. The Biden administration used this park to aid illegal entry into our country. And then secondly, you saw the masses, the thousands that they allowed together in this park for processing and then to be sent elsewhere in the United States. That's mass parole. Congress has specifically prohibited mass parole into the United States. What Texas is doing right now is we are the ones actually enforcing laws passed by Congress. Biden is breaking those laws. And we look forward to our day in court where we are able to tell America the way that Joe Biden is violating the laws that are on the books by Congress right now.
Thank you for joining us on this powerful journey with Pillars of Freedom. If you found this video insightful, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to stay tuned for more impactful content. We're eager to hear your thoughts, so drop a comment below and let's continue the conversation. Together, let's explore the pillars that make our nation strong. I'm James, signing off for now. Until next time.